Welcome to day 17 of February. This video of day February here on the Deb's Tourism channel. My name is Deborah Cooper. I am the advice columnist and host of the channel, provider of all this great content that I hope that you're learning from. Today I want to address an issue that's come up quite frequently lately, and that is the shocking number of young women that will put up with absolute and utter nonsense in order to say that they have a boyfriend or a fiance or a husband. Like I said earlier, several different times in other videos as well, it's this low self-esteem thing is like an epidemic amongst young women. And as I started really thinking about it, I'm seeing examples of either why or how it's manifested. I'm not sure. It's kind of a chicken or the egg kind of thing. So I don't know which one came first, but I'm seeing the same types of behaviors where there are little to no boundaries and little to no standards. So we are going to talk about some of the things that are coming across my desk lately. In this one, I want to talk about a series of letters that have to do with males experimenting with other males. And these are not little children. These are grown men. So it takes on a different type of context, especially when these men are dating or engaged to or married to women. So let me just read you some of the letters. I put them on slides so you can feel free to follow along. This is the letter number 1. I recently found out that my fiance has experimented with men. I was told a long time ago that he once had a relationship with a man, and then I found gay porn. I asked him about it, and he said it was a lie and that he just likes to look at the porn every once in a while. However, I recently came across some emails he wrote to men on Craigslist. I won't go into details, but what I read disgusted me. I confronted him. He lied at first and then confessed. At least he says so. Now what that means, let me just interject. That means that he confessed that he did once and that he had this relationship. That doesn't mean that that's the full story. That's what she means. At least he says so. I want to marry him, but I can't get the thoughts of him with men out of my head. He says he wants to marry me and that he is ashamed, disgusted with himself, and that he didn't want to be judged for his past. How do I get over this? Help me, please. Number 1 here, dude. You did exactly what you wanted to do when you wanted to do it and with whom you wanted to do it. You don't have the right to ask not to be judged. She has every right to judge you because what you are telling her now is not what she signed on for when she accepted your proposal. So you confessing this all after the fact, after you feel like you got her, is unfair. That's unscrupulous, is dishonest, is unnecessarily hurtful because what you tried to do is remove her choice. You wanted to, get what you wanted from her, and you got what you wanted from these other dudes as well. So you try to make it all about you with no consideration for what the woman might feel and what the woman's looking for in a relationship and in a husband. And you may not very well be that thing, but you try to manipulate her into giving it to you anyway. And she's so silly. She's talking about, this marriage. She's not supposed to be thinking about marriage, but I'll go into more of that in a minute. Letter number 2. My boyfriend of almost 2 years told me a few months ago that 5 years ago he experimented with men. He went to a gay club, got drunk, and when he got hit on by some gay guys, he didn't turn them down. When I asked him if he was attracted to men or if he was bi, he said he considers himself bi-curious, is not attracted to the average male. I asked him what kind of male he was attracted to. He claims he has no romantic interest in men, it's just sex. I consider that most women I know have had some kind of sexual experience with another woman, and no one considers him lesbian. So why can't a straight male have openly sexual experiences with men without it being gay or disgusting? That's what I keep telling myself anyway. I'm still getting used to the news. He claims that he was figuring himself out, but most days I really wish he had never told me. The thought of him with a man makes me sick to my stomach. But he is the best thing that has ever happened to me, and I don't want to throw it away because he decided to experiment to find his sexual preferences years before we ever met. Some days I have nightmares that he will go behind my back and do it again. He claims it's out of his system and not for him. He's 100% sure he wants to spend the rest of his life with me and make me happy. So I guess ultimately I want to know what you think. Is this type of experimental behavior the new normal for straight men, or is his behavior questionable? Do you think I'll really be able to get up past this? My answer is absolutely not. You'll never get past it. You're going to always think about that because that's not normal for you. That's not when you think of your happily ever after. This was not it. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with you sticking to your guns. And he may be the best thing that's ever happened to you at this point in your life, but these women are young. They're all in their early to mid 20s. You just got started in your life. You know how many people you're going to meet just even over the next 5 or 10 years? This guy might be great. He might be nice. He may have lots of wonderful qualities that you like. But if you're going to be having nightmares about the man that you're going to be spending the rest of your life with and feeling hurt and insecure and doubtful about what he's doing, and let me say, throw this away in there too. How do you go find your sexuality and to determine what it is? It is either there or not. Now, the fact that he was curious about dealing with some men means he was, he was been by for a long time. He just didn't want to admit it. Because see, nobody goes, you don't just actually just be walking down the street and find yourself in a gay club. He went there intentionally. Do you understand what he's telling you there? He went there with the intention of doing everything that he did when he got there. So it wasn't like he got drunk to do it. I mean, the drunk made him do it. He went there to get drunk to do it. The alcohol merely let him release his inhibitions to letting happen what he already wanted to happen, which is why he put himself in that environment. So please understand, this was intentional. This was an intentional act on his part. And, very callous and we're talking about he didn't turn him down. No, you weren't going to turn him down. You had no intention of turning him down, so you took your ass to the club. Oh my God, these people. Okay, so I still have more to say, so let me move on to letter number 3. My boyfriend of just over a year ago told me early on that he is curious about gay sex. Not that he's interested in men, just the sex part. He suggested we try a strap-on, but I haven't agreed yet. I am honestly scared and confused. He told me the other night that he wants to be intimate with a man sometime in his life, but that while we are together, I am the only one for him. I think about it a lot, and I don't know if it scares me, freaks me out, or what I'm feeling. I don't know if I can handle this. I love him a lot, though. Can you give me some advice? Absolutely. He's full of shit, and you need to leave him alone. How are you going to say something about as long as we're together? That means you're planning that he's not going to be at some point. Nobody would say it and use those words, that terminology. It just means he's biding his time until you get sick of him and his shit, and then you'll be out. But this thing, the number one thing you young women have to understand is when men try to push you into something that you don't feel comfortable with doing, you have to have the backbone to say no. You have to say, I don't want to do that. That makes me uncomfortable. I see nothing about that would bring me pleasure. You have to be very clear with men about where you stand. He's of course going to push his agenda just like he pushes it. The other guy pushes his agenda by running his ass to the gay club, and the other guy, by messing with men. I mean, they're doing what they want to do. Now he wants to do what he wants to do and involve you in it, even if it's something that you don't want to do. He's still pushing. So see, this kind of stuff, this kind of behavior here is coercion. This is not fair because it threatens you with the relationship if you don't give him what you want. That's why you're not identifying if that's what you're feeling, but it's anger, it's rage, and that's okay. That's okay. It's okay for you to feel upset. It's okay for you to to express your rage and your hatred. It's also okay for you to be grossed out. It's okay to be disgusted by what you heard. You don't have to like it because he did. There's no law that says that. And even if there were, you could break it at will. Nobody can decide what you feel. And it's okay to remind him that as you change how you feel towards him, because he's not the man that you thought he was. You're going to miss the man that you thought he was. You got to keep that in mind. If you leave him, or rather when you leave him, because it's just a matter of time, you just got to wrap your mind around it. you're not going to miss him, who he is. You're going to miss the man that he represented himself to be at first, the man that you thought he was, the man that you fell in love with, which is not really who he is. He waited until he got what he feels like got you, and then drops this bomb on you and tries to get you all involved in his freakiness. No, 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 no. You don't have to do that. That's not the man. You want a guy who you feel like is normal, heterosexual in every way, and only likes women, has liked women from the beginning, would like women to the end, and that's all that you're interested in. It's also okay for you to tell your friends, because this is a very, it's great that you write me, but you need some people who know you and who can provide you with closeness right where you live, right? Come to your house and you guys sit on the couch and cry together, commiserate, whatever, go out for girls night. You need to seek out your friends, and it's okay to tell them what's going on, and it's okay to ask them for support, and I'm sure they would be there for you. Even if you didn't ask them, they would want to help you get through this. It's also okay for you to admit that you have no interest in what he's talking about. Just because that's your boyfriend and just because you love him, that doesn't mean that you have to have every interest that he has, and you definitely do not have to participate in his nonsense if it makes you uncomfortable. So the bottom line there is, it's okay for you to throw up to the deuces and be out like a light. It's also okay for you to pack up and go. It's also okay for you to be lining up the next dude, because this situation here is over. It's like there's no way you're going to ever feel the same about him that you did before he made this confession. All of you, all three of you women. So see, my thing is this. So they asked me for my advice, so I'm gonna tell them my number one motto: if the man you dealing with, the married to, and you're living with, whatever, is not giving you the relationship that you want for any reason, no matter what excuse he gives, any reason at all, then you move on, because he's not the man for you. You have certain needs, emotional. You need to feel emotionally and physically safe in the environment that you're in your relationship with. You need to feel mentally secure, and you need to have a complete trust in what he's telling you, and that he's telling you not only what he's telling, but that he's telling you the whole story, not holding bits and pieces back to manipulate you into doing something you don't want to do or thinking something that's untrue. So he's trying to manipulate your reality when they do stuff like that, and that is abuse. That is emotional abuse. So you have to have confidence in the relationship that you're in. You have to have belief that you're going to have peace of mind and satisfaction in every way possible with that man that you're with. And if any of that is in doubt to you, in question, you're not secure about it, you feel confused, you're like wavering, you're crying, you feel like your self-esteem is taking a beating, and you just really just don't feel good, it's time to take a step back and reassess what's going on here. Reassess the relationship. If you have some place to go and stay for a week or so, go no contact with him while you think things through, feel free to do that. You have every right to do it, because we're talking about the rest of your life here. If you marry this man, and even if you end up divorced, that segment of time that you were with him is still going to affect you for the rest of your life. So you need to really think about this, if this is the kind of relationship that you want and the type of man that you want to tie yourself to. So the bottom line for me, my summation to these three young women and any others who are involved in a situation like this, facing this kind of dilemma: if a straight man has sex with another man, that means he's at least bi and probably gay. He's just with you for something to do. Number two, if a straight man has these kind of thoughts, they might have some kind of fantasy about it, but they would never put those thoughts into action. See, these guys went to clubs, they placed ads. They were looking at stuff on the computer. They put their thoughts into action. So that means they were ready to. They had a different level of motivation and a very keen and high interest in these activities. Number three, though this behavior may seem to be more common than we think, because I hear these stories a lot from women, you have to decide if this imperfection in your relationship is one that you can handle. Yes, every relationship has problems. Every relationship has differences. Every relationship has bumps on the road. But this is like a damn cave in the road. Okay? Like, you got to really think about this one. See, notice how I'm hesitating to tell you what to do. I'm thinking that you guys already know what you need to do. You're just afraid to do it. Number four, You doubt yourself. You thought you knew him. These are some of the things I'm thinking you guys are feeling. You thought you knew him. You knew who he was. You trusted him. And so you're dealing with your shock and your confusion. You're asking yourself, who is this man? Where will this end? I mean, he wants to do this pegging thing, but what else is he going to do? What other kind of things he going to fly out and draw me deeper and deeper into this dark underworld that I don't really want to go into? How did I get here? What in the world is going on? And then you want to know, well, how was he romantic with this dude? Did he kiss the guy? Do the men keep in touch? And is he still attracted to me? And he says he doesn't, but he's looking at all the stuff online. So what does that mean? How are you supposed to take that as a woman? So my closing comment is, if you're uncomfortable with this situation, you feel confused, you feel fearful, you feel insecure, doubtful, any of those things about where you stand, then you have to understand that how much risk you're taking by staying in a relationship that could ultimately damage your self-esteem, break your heart, and ruin you psychologically for many years to come. You young ladies have got to value yourselves more. You are giving away your self-esteem and your confidence to some dude just so you can say you have a boyfriend, or just so you can say that you have a fiance. The person that you need to be more concerned about is how they feel and think, and what their needs are is yourself. All right? I hope I made this clear. This is Deb Cooper from survivingdating.com. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. I'm still trying to catch up. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye. Now that you've seen some of the grade A content that the Debsterism channel offers, please become a subscriber. Just click the subscribe button down below. Then you'll see a little bell. Click that after, and then you'll be able to get notifications sent directly to your cell phone of when I post new content. You can be one of the very first people to review the new videos, like them, comment them on them, and share them. We'd like you to do all of those things to help the channel grow. I appreciate your support, so become a subscriber. Tell your friends. I'm asking for your participation in a survey. I'm gathering some data on male violence when faced with rejection from women. Share your personal stories or stories that you've heard firsthand from family or friends. I'd like to hear what's been going on out there with you. A link can be found in the show description page below. Please respond as soon as you can. I'd like to process all the information that I receive and produce the show and have it live on the channel before the end of February, when Video a Day February ends. All right? If you have any questions, write me at survivingdating@gmail.com. Feel free to share that link to your social media walls and to your friends. Thanks.